Good evening. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. The Easter bus rush begins, but the Ministry of Transport is cracking down on standees. You'll hear from the minister today as he was escorting them off the buses. And no increase in bus fares, even with the increase in fuel prices. Minister Zabani says that is off the table. But will he lend a helping hand to the bus association? Also, the truck raffle that never was. But was there a plan to rig it? You'll hear from a member of the Sub-Umbra Florio Lions Club about what really went down. Plus, what you did do for the Easter weekend. We'll take you to the streets to hear some holiday plans. These stories and much more are ahead on 7 News tonight, so please stay tuned.
My name is Mrs. Esther Smith. I'm a co-owner of A Glimpse of Paradise gift shop here at Altona, booth number 13. And me and my husband have to offer some of the most finest wood products here in Belize, all hand done by him. And these products are made from some of the most beautiful, finest and hardest wood here in our country. I first started at Atlantic Bank as, went there to start a saving account. From there, I have my checking account with the POS machine. And then it becomes more like a family to me because there are personnel from Atlantic Bank that will always come here, check with us, make sure everything is okay, clean our machine, and they will always ensure that we have bundles. My advice to anybody that wants to choose Atlantic Bank to be their bank is that don't be afraid. You won't have any regret. Atlantic Bank, you will find them to be very efficient, reliable, and competent.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Gas prices gone up too far. That's all I could say.
Belizeans have long paid some of the highest fuel prices in the region. Even when fuel prices fell, we prepaid for times like these.
It's unbelievable. It's incredible that I don't know how the Belizean people get by.
Now, despite our sacrifices at home, the Prime Minister insists fuel prices must rise and warns that it will rise even more.
But the price of diesel has already, the fuel has gone up, and the next shipment is going to go up more.
41% of every dollar spent on the price per gallon of regular fuel and 46% on premium prices go directly into the government's coffers. We call on this government to reduce the fuel tax by $2 to help lower high fuel costs for struggling households.
The burden is heavy, the excuses are many, but Belizeans deserve better. Imagine the domino effect this will have during these already difficult times. We cannot continue to pay these ridiculous prices.
I'm very cautious about what the Prime Minister says. He makes this statement that, we absorb some of the increase. All right. But when the price of fuel was $60 per barrel globally, as it was in December, the price for a gallon of gas was still $11. So don't talk about we the observe. You tell us about when you want to make the cream.
I probably have to ride my bicycle more and park this car because it's very difficult.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We begin our newscast with one of our top stories this evening, where commuters fear not. Today, the Minister of Transport confirmed that bus fares will not be increased. That's after the Belize Bus Association wrote to the ministry for assistance. In their letter, they gave 3 options to help them stay afloat amid the rising fuel prices, and raising the fares was the last one. The first was that the government of Belize absorb the fuel tax, and the second, that they provide a subsidy to the independent bus owners similar to what they did during the COVID pandemic. And today, the minister said that he has taken their letter to cabinet, but they will need to discuss it further. However, should government of Belize even lend a helping hand to those bus owners who chose to remain independent and not going to the national bus company? Well, that's the question. And the BBA also claimed that it was only fair for the government of Belize to give them the same benefits as the NBC. But here's what Minister Louis Sabani had to say.
I have shared the content of the letter with Cabinet. And so right after Easter, we will do some more discussions on it and have a formal response to them.
What's the process to get this thing reviewed and perhaps approved or denied?
Well, you know, we certainly already said that we're not contemplating the third suggestion that they have, which is to raise fares. We don't wish to do that simply because we know that our commuters are already under stress, and so I think we have to eliminate that one. The other ones, we will need to have more discussion. They're asking for subsidies or exemptions on taxes on fuel. Both of those will be difficult. With respect to the National Bus Company, we are benefiting from economies of scale, which is what we shared with them, that when we have a larger operation, you can buy in bulk. We are getting discounts for fuel, tires, etc. So that will allow National Bus Company to continue to function even with these higher diesel prices.
And did you guys see this coming? Because, you know, even before the NBC started, you had issues with the BBA. So is this something that you guys were prepared for, to have this kind of tension with them?
Well, I wouldn't characterize it as tension. I think it's for them. They have made a decision to operate independently as sole operators, and that is quite fine. On many occasions, we discussed the benefits of joining the National Bus Company. I think they're still struggling with the basic concept of economies of scale. Yes. I don't know if it's because the term is a big term, but it's very simple. Already in the bus industry, the larger bus companies we're already benefiting from some level of economies of scale because the bigger companies like Westline and James could buy in bulk. And that's a principle that is very, very basic, right? So if they decide that they wish to be independent, well, that comes with certain responsibilities.
And do you think that with that independence that the government is still obligated to assist them?
The National Bus Company is not asking for bus fare increases, is not asking for any kind of subsidies on fuel. So the government would not be doing anything that is unjustified. For example, doing something for National Bus Company that it's not doing for them. So that argument wouldn't hold any water at all.
And while the BBA waits for that response from the government of Belize, they said that if they don't get any assistance, they may need to park their buses. But would they threaten to strike before that happens? And if they do, can the NBC fill the gap? We asked Sabani. Here's his response.
The decision for them to take that, I wouldn't know why they would do that, because I think since we've been meeting early in the year, we've been communicating openly with them, and we've explained that we want them to succeed, and they've said publicly they want the National Bus Company to succeed. So I don't see what a strike would do other than to hurt the commuters and to hurt their own image. I know it's a difficult time for them, but at this point, we haven't made a final decision.
But the BBA also raised the point that the NBC is a public-private partnership, not a fully government-owned entity. So how does Dr. Zabani balance his role in the NBC and as a transport minister? Here's how he explained it.
Well, the development, the conception and the development of the National Bus Company resides in the Ministry of Transportation. It is that ministry which has been responsible to develop the National Bus Company from scratch. And so it is also our responsibility to continue to, it's a process, as I've said, that will continue on for the next 2 or 3 years. So we also have continued responsibility with respect to bringing in the electric buses, changing out the fleet to electric buses, and also with respect to the building of terminals. So remember that government owns the majority of National Bus Company. So that responsibility lies with the Ministry of Transportation.
But it now looks as if the Ministry of Transport is competing with independent bus owners. You all are miles ahead in terms of the amount of resources you can access.
The National Bus Company has not received anything more than the facilitation to form the company. The investment of the government in the company are the terminals, as we've said before. And as you know, the terminals have been in a deplorable condition for many years. So now that we're bringing it under National Bus Company, we're improving terminals, and we're planning to build new terminals. So it's not like government is taking money out of taxpayers' pool of money to put into National Bus Company. On the contrary, as a shareholder in the National Bus Company, once the company starts to gain profitability, the people through the government will be able to receive dividends, right, back into government, which has never been the case before. So this is a win-win for the people of Belize in terms of the structure that we put in place.
And when we met with Dr. Zabani at the bus terminal in Belize City today, he was, along with the regional manager, checking all the buses for standees. In fact, he even instructed that the standees be removed from the buses. But once a standee is removed, how long will they have to wait for another bus? And when will the NBC be able to provide backup buses for those who don't get a seat? We asked Zabani just that.
And so when it comes to the standees, we see you guys taking them out. But is there a possibility that maybe next week or in the near future we can see additional runs around the same time, whereby those standees will automatically just be able to go into another bus?
We are rationalizing the schedule. So I would expect that within 2 weeks, we will start to announce schedules that would be in effect in May. And that would be for all the public to know where we will have changes, where certain runs that were not helping will be eliminated, and where we need more buses, we will add those buses. And we're also taking care just so the independent operators know that we're not placing any routes on their time, right? Because we respect their investment as well. What we're doing is to ensure that if at a certain time you have an excess number of persons and you need extra buses, that then we have those buses so that people can have seats in the buses and be moving safely from point A to point B.
Later on in this newscast, you'll hear about how the NBC is preparing for the Easter rush. And stay tuned. After the break, it's been almost a week since Deborah Arthurs went missing, and now her family is offering $10,000 for information. We'll tell you more about this story. And the energy sector will be getting a big boost from the new MCC deal. You'll hear from the minister how that will be used. These stories and more when we return. Stay tuned.
This is a Jack X200. This is a very recommendable vehicle. Storage capacity to the max, right? Fuel efficient, easy rider, AC not a play, the pump, comfortable, and it carry me to all my destination. I can count on Jack to take me and my packages where I need to go. I recommend it anytime. We're the best from the West.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
The government says Honorable Lee Mark lied. Here are the facts. Since taking office in March 2025, not one single resident of Mesopotamia was recommended by him under the housing program. Area representatives don't approve homes. They recommend names. He was never asked, never consulted, never included. The homes they're bragging about, approved before he took office. So why the attack? Because they don't want you asking the real question. They promised homes at $30,000, then said $60,000. Now the truth, over $110,000 per home. That's a massive increase. This isn't about lean mark, it's about your money and the truth.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah. Over there, Champion Security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Hanson. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where your safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You wanna rent it, that's not a problem. We got remote gate.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
And we continue our newscast with that story about the truck raffle. The Sub-Umbra Florio Lions Club has been under major scrutiny after it was revealed that they were selling raffle tickets for a truck that didn't exist. As we have been reporting, the club members sold over 500 tickets at $100 each before they realized that they never got the 2026 Toyota Hilux they were advertising. In fact, no contract was ever signed with Belize Diesel and Equipment Company. And according to the president, the raffle was canceled because they could not meet the threshold. And the club announced via a press release that following the guidelines of the Gaming and Lotteries Commission, they would reimburse funds on April 7th. That story seems simple enough, but according to members of the club, it's not so. They say that there were attempts to rig the raffle. And on top of that, there are monies missing from their bank account, including the $50,000 that was supposed to have been raised from the ticket sales. However, the members are also in fear of their lives and their jobs if they speak out. One of them spoke to us unanimously, and we have distorted their voice. Courtney Menzies has this story.
In late 2025, the Sub-Umbra Floreal Lions Club advertised a raffle for a brand new 2026 Toyota Hilux, which was supposed to be drawn in December. It was later extended to March before it was reportedly cancelled. Now, in April, the club members are alleging it wasn't cancelled. It was stopped before it could be rigged.
We realized something was wrong with the raffle when a fellow member gave me a call and was like, there is no truck. I can't really say if it would have proceeded in December, but it definitely would have proceeded in March if it was not stopped by a fellow member of another club.
How did this member go about stopping it?
So we were having the closing of our convention, and they announced that they would be doing the raffle. And he stood up and he was like, but how can you guys do a raffle if there is no truck? And everybody was just dispersed. Nobody really wanted to deal with that matter.
And this anonymous club member explained that they've been in the dark when it comes to correspondences with the Gaming and Lotteries Commission and recent press releases, including this letter that claims to bear signatures from the presidents of all the local Lions clubs. However, this member told those 3 clubs did not sign it. But still, they're unable to issue any information of their own. So this latest press release saying, okay, if you want reimbursement, you come by Civic Center, I think it was April 7th. You all have nothing to do with that. You didn't know that was happening.
No. I mean, because then that would raise back the question that majority of persons in the club are answering. How are we going to reimburse over 500 persons? It's only that amount of money that we have. And that then draws us back to everything. It goes back to the bank, like our banking issues that we're having. So it's all over the place and nobody seems to be focusing on that.
And that's the crux of the matter. Where is the money that was raised from the ticket sales? You guys sold over 500 tickets, which would have made over $50,000, should have been in that account, and it wasn't.
Yes. At the time, only 20-something thousand was in it when we originally went to the bank, before we got the bank statement the other day that you guys aired. So that means that monies have been going into the account. But the biggest concern is, how is money coming out of the account? When it's an NGO and you guys, like a bank, would require at least 2 signatures. How is it that only 1 signature has been withdrawing monies from the account?
And they feel the bank nor the police department are working with them, which now has them at a loss. What do you think will be you guys' next steps to try and rectify this whole situation?
We don't know. We honestly don't know. That's why we are here. We feel like we're being pushed against the wall with the Belize Police Department. We have written, of course, to the Central Bank to get involved because Atlantic Bank has stopped responding. We want an explanation as to how did you guys allow this to happen? And that's what they're not telling us. We're trying to get this matter sorted out, but the biggest problem is the finance of this club really need to be audited. We tried to write to FIU, and FIU is like, oh, they need to get it from CIB. It's a turnaround. And this is public funds we're talking about. So we really don't know what to do next.
How frustrating is it that after years and years and years of all this work, that this raffle might now give people a different impression of the club?
Yes, that has really been affecting individuals of different clubs, not just the members of the Sub-Umbra Floreal Lions Club. Persons are being asked about it at work. Different stories are being told about persons that have risen up in terms of seeking the truth. And it's really disheartening because unlike Rotary, wearing that jacket, we say we work with our hands. We work with our hands and we go in the community and we talk to people and we assess their needs to see how we can help. But it really gives us this black eye, and it's causing this whole mistrust with persons. Because if I can't even trust you for this, like, why can I trust you with anything else?
And that is the question that all the Lions clubs around the country will have to grapple with, even if the issue is resolved. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
We reached out to the president today, but at news time, we have still received no response. We will continue to follow this story and bring you updates as it develops. Meanwhile, a cash reward to 10,000 Belize dollars is now being offered as the family of missing Deborah Arthurs grows increasingly desperate for answers. The 28-year-old call center employee and mother of one has been missing since Friday, March 27th. Arthurs was last seen at around 1 in the afternoon in front of La Popular Bakery in Belize City, where witnesses reported seeing her entering a silver Chevy Equinox shortly before she disappeared. Since then, Arthurs has not answered her phone and has also failed to report to work, something relatives say is completely out of character for her. Today, her aunt, via a Facebook post, said, "It has been 6 days since my niece, Bree Arthurs, went missing in Belize City. We urgently request that anyone with information regarding her whereabouts please come forward. We acknowledge that witnesses in Belize may have concerns about protection, but we urge you to assist us in any way possible during this critical time. Unfortunately, at this moment, I lack confidence in the police system. I am convinced that somebody out there has information." The family says that while they continue to search for answers, they fear the worst and are simply hoping to find Arthurs and get the closure they need. Meanwhile, yesterday we told you about that $20 million from the Millennium Corporation Challenge Belize Compact was being reallocated to the energy sector. Initially, only 20% of the funds were allocated for that sector, and the other 80% for the education sector. However, the government of Belize has been in negotiations with the U.S. government since the change in administration. And the Prime Minister explained last year that the U.S. government wanted to invest more of those funds into energy. Well, on Tuesday, Cabinet approved the latest proposal, and the Minister of Energy explained via Zoom what the money will be used for. Here's more.
There was some reallocation of funds so that now the about 41 million US or so is now being allocated for the energy projects. And included in those, we have settled upon several things. Some of those funds are going to be used to procure selected hardware that are going to be deployed at the hydros to make them more efficient and more reliable. Some funds are also going to be used to procure and also to build some of the interconnection points we're going to be needing for the new generation capacity that we are going to be getting shortly. As you're aware, there's currently an RFQ out for 80 megawatts of solar energy. And some of the funds, in addition, is going to be used for capacity building within the ministry. We're going to use some funds to also draft a new energy act under which we are thinking we're going to subsume the current electricity act and make it a little bit more modern and pertinent to all the new sources of energy that we are going to be getting from. And I believe a portion of the funds will also be used to create the grid codes, the distribution grid codes and so forth, which are needed so that anybody who wants to interact with BL would know what are the standards required by BL and would be able to match those so that there's symmetry between systems, right? So that's pretty much what the funds will be used for. My understanding initially was that they were looking more at renewable energy sources, but that has been broadened a little bit so that it is no longer exclusively for renewable energy sources, right?
And Minister Shabbat also spoke about the praise he received from opposition member Mike Guerra during the budget debate. And you'll remember, Guerra switched to Spanish to thank Shabbat for the assistance he has provided. But Was he crossing the floor? Shabat said he was just being honest.
I think the Honorable Mike Guerra is being very honest. As you know, Marisol, we have been helping everybody on the other side. I mean, these guys have been getting their CDF. These guys have been getting provisions for pantry. And so our Prime Minister has been, very kind, and he's extended assistance to even the representatives from the other side. So I think Mike was really just repeating what is happening, that he pointed me out. He and I, we share boundaries, so to speak. My constituency is right next to his. And, he has had some issues with electricity and with water. And I have tried to help. I mean, the people of Benke are Belizeans as well. And anybody who comes to me, anybody who asks me for my assistance, I will always try to help. That is my job. My job is not to help only PUPs. Once you've won an election, you're representing the whole country, and so I have nothing against helping any of my colleagues. At the end of the day, it's the people who will benefit from the work we do, regardless of which constituency they're in, right? So I don't think it's anything special that I'm doing. I'm just doing my job, so to speak.
Shabat, who is also the Minister of Public Utilities, was also asked about the proposed smart acquisition. As you know, that deal has been paused, but is there any actual meaningful consultation taking place? He says it's with the PUC now.
This is a national issue, right? And the more conversations that can be had is always the best way to go, right? Whether or not they could have or should have done something or so on. We always want as broad as possible consultations and conversations when we're dealing with issues of national importance, right? I think critically, the most important thing is that now the PUC has taken it over, and perhaps that is where it should have started, right? They have now taken it over, and now they are the ones who are conducting these consultations and so forth. And being the regulator, I think they are the correct body to be doing it.
And at the top of the newscast, you saw the transport minister directing standees to be removed from the buses ahead of the Easter holiday weekend. Over the next few days, travelers will be moving all across the country. And today, Dr. Louis Zabany said that they are preparing for the rush with 10 buses on standby. Here's more.
Well, we've been here from early this morning, ensuring that we've had the backup buses in place, and we've been able to handle the morning rush, which was quite large. We had 2 extra buses to the west and 1 to the north, and 1 to the south. So that's 4 extra buses that we put in this morning. We expect another big rush this evening. Overall, we've had 10 buses standby, and a couple more in case. So we want to make sure that
And with that Easter rush comes a special schedule to accommodate the traveling needs throughout the different hotspots. Dr. Zabany explained what that will look like.
Traditionally, Good Friday and Easter Sunday are slow days, but we have the buses in place already. Saturday will be a little bit higher than normal. And then, of course, Monday evening and Tuesday morning. So we have all our people across the country are prepared for that.
And in other news, a few months ago, tech-savvy resident Constantine Enriquez created a Belize bus schedules website as a way to help commuters like himself by creating one platform to keep track of the schedules of different bus lines. But the initiative seemed to not have gotten much support from the transport ministry. Well, today, Dr. Zabany says that they met with him recently and have made these schedules available to him. Here's more.
We met with him recently, and we've opened our doors, of course, to share information. So I think it was a very productive meeting, and we commended him for the initiative he's taking. Of course, he has a business to run, and that's quite fine. So in terms of public information about our schedules, we will also be sharing it with him so he can have it on his platform, in addition to our Facebook page, right, which is where we're now posting the schedules.
And when we return, finding fish for Good Friday. How much are Belizeans paying per pound? We'll take you to the markets to find out. And what are your plans this Easter holiday? We took to the streets to hear them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westbell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
When the job calls, you need a truck that works as hard as you do. Strong, reliable, and built for the load. The Jack Freight Truck gets the job done. From the lumberyard to the work site, power your business with confidence. I can count on Jack to get the job done right.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Drop it like it's hot.
Well, good morning, Jesus. Yes, it's me again. But I didn't call this time to get forgiveness for my sin. I called to talk to Mama, and I know she's there with you. If there's a phone in heaven, then Jesus put me through. And give me one more chance to tell her that I love her. Oh, let me hear her sweet voice one more time, for I want her
But one day, Lord, you took her with no warning in advance. And I'm begging now, please give me one last opportunity. If there's a phone in heaven, let my mama talk to me. And give me one more chance to tell her that I love her.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
A 50-year-old man was arraigned today on 1 count of rape and 2 counts of sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl. The girl reported that he touched her inappropriately on 2 separate occasions in 2024 and then raped her in April 2025. A doctor found that the minor was carnally known and classified her injuries as grievous harm, that is. The doctor also informed the family that she was 7 weeks pregnant. According to the girl, she was left in the care of the suspect on the 3 occasions the incident happened. The police have been investigating the incident since June 2025, but charges were not levied until March 31st. The accused appeared unrepresented and no plea was taken. He was remanded to prison, that is, until July 26th. Meanwhile, yesterday, we reported that Cabinet has been updated on the progress of the technical review of recommendations submitted by the People's Constitution Commission. According to a press release, the review outlines a structured methodology aimed at clearly defining the proposals and legally assessing them as part of a roadmap toward possible constitutional reform. Well, today we spoke with Dr. Zabané on what that all means. Here's more.
So our ministry, we have met 4 times with the former chairs of the PCC. We've also met with a couple other groups that had dissenting views, and working very closely with the Attorney General's ministry. We have engaged the services of constitutional lawyers, attorneys from the UK. We just got a few days ago, we got back their review. I shared that with Cabinet, this last Cabinet meeting. And we're planning the 3rd week of April for Cabinet to have an all-day retreat to go through all those recommendations, because by early May, we're obliged to present Cabinet's decisions to the House.
Meanwhile, in other news, authorities worked through the early morning hours to clean up a chemical spill following a traffic accident involving a truck transporting heavy equipment and pesticide containers. The incident happened near Hot Mama's in Unitedville Village and involved a red flatbed truck, that is, carrying a bulldozer mounted on a 40-foot flatbed trailer. According to eyewitnesses, the bulldozer was loaded with boxes of chemicals which became partially crushed during the crash, causing some of the contents to spill onto the roadway. Fortunately, no fatalities or serious injuries were reported, but attempts were made to reach the National Emergency Management Organization for assistance, but calls reportedly went unanswered. Efforts to get support from the Belize Natural Energy and the Belize Fire Department were also unsuccessful. Help was eventually secured through the Spanish Lacote Fire Department, which connected responders with a private company, Dirt Bucket. The company arrived on site at approximately 2:37 in the morning to begin the cleanup. An excavator mounted on the trailer was used to dig out contaminated soil, while a dump truck was brought in to remove and transport the affected material. Officials from the Pesticides Control Board of Belize were also notified. The truck involved in the incident reportedly belongs to the owners of a popular machinery supply company. Meanwhile, in other news, with Good Friday less than 24 hours away, Belizeans are stocking up on their fish, bun, and other traditional delicacies. Well, today our fish finders went out to the markets to see what the frenzy looked like this year. Jaleesa Roberts has this story.
With tomorrow being Good Friday, Belizeans are rushing to their favorite fish vendors to get their Friday fix, which traditionally includes fried fish. Even with the prices escalating between $10 to $12 a pound, persons have been able to find ways to make it work. We spoke with a few of the vendors, and this is what they told us.
The price they up there, but the fish ain't get smaller.
How do you feel about that?
Well, the fishermen have to put on the cost because gas gone up, everything gone up, and the price have to go up too.
And so, do you think that eventually this tradition will have to phase out because of the affordability of it?
No, I think they will have to stop put so much exemption on what you could do as a fisherman. Because being a fisherman not easy. And if everything you need, your tools for to do your everyday daily living expensive, how could you afford to do it if you can't make back the ends we'll spend, the money we'll spend?
What are some of the exemptions?
Well, like the areas where you could go fish. There are a lot of protected areas where you can't go fish, but there are not areas where you could go fish all the time because for certain fishing instances where the fish they have to develop one certain size before you could bring them. All right, good. So now the same fish that we may cost we less, we have to cost you more because we have to go farther for catch a size fish we can catch right here. So if I have to go farther, it cost me more. Who have to pay that price there?
So you think when Easter come, the fish get frightened?
Have to.
I got snapper, barrow, kingfish, jack, and grouper. Well, our price 12, 13, 14, and 15. But after the Easter, well, everything went low. Well, everybody is, it's a fisherman Christmas, I think, too. Everybody get a fish Easter for the pot, for bake, all the different things. So I got my boat right up the church there, and everybody surviving a life. I got my brother who I work with, we deal with the tanker, I think, too. I made him go fishing together, and he helped me out a lot, too. Fish stand good right now, kind of the bite good. They're the bite good right now. One overnight, sometimes 2-3 days, depends how the weather stand, So, but one overnight we do, and we gone good. Yeah.
So now, what kind of fish people they buy specifically?
Well, barrow. Yeah, barrow and really buy with snapper too.
Out here, as you can see, the guys, they bring in so much fish and all has gone, no? So it's fairly well for them, no? Right here, demonstrating in front of you all, this is what you get when you deal with Mr. Oliveira.
And so, do you think that the pricing of fish, you think it's affordable for Belizeans this year?
Well, that's another thing, because depends on your budget, on your pocket, right? If you want something, you will pay for it, right? If you need it.
And so you think with the budget, if they can't afford it, then could just left the tradition maybe this year and deal with chicken?
I don't think so. That's not a good idea, because it's healthy. And you can get more than, from your body's point of view.
Today is also dubbed as Fisherman's Christmas, since it's a way that fishermen can make extra dollars selling to households or providing for restaurants on a commercial scale. All we know is that even with the increase in multiple commodities, the Good Friday loyalists found their fish. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
And while Good Friday is for feasting on fish, what else does the Easter holiday have in store? We took to the streets to find out.
What you do feast?
Well, I went to the quay. I worked at Key Cargo. Yeah. So I go back home and I come back. I just go scrape fish with my friend Marquisha, I think. So all of that.
So you go and make money or you go look for the girl then?
Well, I'm going to go do the two things. Yeah. I'm going to do the two things.
Well, I do work. But I still go get my fish, because I tell you our tradition.
What part you work?
The gas station on the Northern Highway.
The whole weekend you want to work?
Whole weekend. Whole weekend.
Just clean fish? That's Easter. Huh? Whole Easter? Well, I rather make the money than idle myself wrong. What you do this Easter?
I'd enjoy myself. I'd make sure my family, they have a safe Easter. Make sure they eat fish. Make sure they watch a Catholic movie and Ben-Hur,
You went out a key or you just stay mainland?
Negative, I was keep it spiritual this year, yeah.
There's any specific reason why you choose to keep it spiritual this year?
Yeah, all good things must come to an end, and I think I party enough, these times. So I left that for the younger generation there for enjoy themselves while in Canada, because I'm living one expensive, and on vacation, I feel like one expense more than one recreation.
And so what you do for Easter this year?
I like when Easter come for go nowhere, honestly to God. I like stay put. I like stay and watch my TV with my Jesus Christ movies. And I can't wait to sit down contented and watch that.
You don't go on the island go party?
No. I don't like the wrong too much crowd.
And that's all we have for you on 7 News on this Thursday night. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a good night and a safe Easter holiday. And join us back here on Tuesday at the same time. Have a good night, folks, and a safe Easter holiday.